So today I'm doing a video that is going to be part 2 of my best movies from the last 10 decades, because when I did it about a year ago, I did it about March 2018-ish, something like that. When I got to the 2000s/2010s, I kind of just rushed them because I kind of ran out of time. I was just done with the video by the time I got to this decade. So yeah, so that's basically going to be my little, this is my continuation of that. So I thank you for watching, and let's get right into the video. So my first movie from the 2000s that I forgot to mention is the movie Like Minds, which is an Eddie Redmayne movie. And when I looked back at that video, I couldn't believe I didn't mention this movie. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, really? Like Minds is such a good movie, and everybody should watch it because it's 12 out of 10, much amazed, wonderful, good movie. And that's why Like Minds is the movie that I have picked for the 2000s. That's kind of like my last 2000s movie. If I think of more, I'll add them.
Do you have any children? You're not bad looking. I think you're running out of time, you know?
No, you're the one running out of time.
I read once that a third of women study psychology to work out their own personal problems. What do you think?
But now we're going to get into the 2010s. So one of the movies I want to talk about is Infinitely Polar Bear, which is a really good movie. It has Mark Ruffalo, what's her name? The one lady who plays Gamora in those other movies. People are gonna hate me, but I don't watch Marvel movies and all that. So anyways, well, the only Marvel movie I watch is X-Men, so I forgot her name right now, but I'll remember it. So anyways, him and her play husband and wife in like the 70s, and he has bipolar disorder. And basically this movie is about them navigating how to raise their kids in this type of difficult situation, because she has to go to work, but she works in a different city because she's not able to find a job in the city that they're in, and she wants the kids to go to a good school and wants what's best for them, but doesn't want them to be affected by the situation that her and her husband are going through, even though they're bringing up their kids in a situation. And I just think it's a really nice, really good, really sweet movie, and it's different. It's different than most movies you'll see, and it tackles a nice, not nice, but like, you know, a different type of subject matter than most movies typically deal with. They deal with mental illness and things like that in this movie, and I think it's a really good movie, so that's why Infinitely Polar Bear is on there.
What if somebody asks me where I live? I don't want to lie.
Amelia, Peabody's the best public school in the city.
I don't care. I don't want to lie.
You're not lying, sweetheart. Mommy's lying.
I don't want to go to Lincoln. They said we're going to get beat up.
Don't worry about that. I'm gonna teach you how to fight.
I might go back and forth between the 2000s and 2010s because I keep remembering stuff as I go along. Anyways, the next movie, I'm pretty sure is from 2011, is, and Infinitely Polar Bear is from 2014. So the next movie is The Music Never Stopped. I forget who plays the main character, and John Goodman may or may not be in this. If he's not, then oh well. But anyways, so this movie is about this man, basically. When he was younger, about to go to college, he went missing for a couple years, and his parents couldn't find him. Then one day they do find him, but he has a brain injury, and basically only music helps him remember things. So it's just kind of like him trying to put his life back together through songs that he listened to before he sustained this traumatic brain injury. And it's a really, really good movie, and it's a really sweet movie, and I think everybody should watch it. So that's why The Music Never Stopped is in there.
Gabriel, is this the song?
The Beatles. Magical Mystery Tour. All you need is love. And Sgt. Pepper's too. That's an amazing album. Oh, Day in the Life, that orchestral explosion at the end. Oh, what a trip, man.
The next movie on the list is The Normal Heart, which I may or may not have mentioned in the original video. I don't think I did. But anyways, The Normal Heart is a movie that's based in the 80s. It's a Ryan Murphy movie, and basically it deals with the subject matter of AIDS and how it kind of affected people in its early stages type thing. And it's another Mark Ruffalo movie, and in it he plays a character who basically has never dated anybody, never really been with anybody, and then he finally gets a boyfriend in the movie. And I don't want to spoil too much, but basically all of these stuff happens. Oh, and it has Taylor Kitsch in it, and if you know me, you know I love Taylor Kitsch so much. Like, hello, 12 out of 10 Taylor Kitsch. So underrated, you know. Taylor Kitsch deserves more credit than he gets. Like I said, in Waco, he deserved all the awards for Waco, but they just straight up ignored Waco. Like, wow, rude. So anyways, The Normal Heart is a really good movie, and you should go see that.
Yes, I do.
Okay, ladies, behave.
Look, it's getting late and we still haven't elected a president.
Nettie, I think that it should be Bruce. Everybody knows him, everybody likes him, and everybody...
Because he's popular and everybody's afraid of me?
Yes.
I mean, look at him. He's gorgeous, and all the kids in Christopher Street and Fire Island, they'll feel a little bit more comfortable following him.
Just like high school.
Yes.
The next movie I want to talk about is Papillon, which is a Charlie Hunnam and Rami Malek movie, which came out in 2018, though technically 2017. I think it was released in America in 2018, which is why I count it as 2018. But anyways, Papillon is a really, really good movie, and it's actually a remake of an old movie that had Dennis Hoffman from the 70s, and I think it's really good. It's, yeah, it's just really good. It's like this movie where basically we have Poppy, and they're calling him that because he has a butterfly tattoo, and if you know French, then you know that Papillon means butterfly in French, and that's why he has a little tattoo. And he gets arrested for doing all this shady stuff, basically, and him and Rami Malek and all these other characters basically go through this little journey thing while they're in jail and trying to escape from jail, and it's a really, really good movie. And yeah, everybody should watch it because it's really good.
Something bit me.
The next movie is a movie called Dead in a Week or Your Money Back, which is an Aniran Bernard movie, and it's a really, really good movie. And basically he's like this depressed book writer who wants to die, and I'm like, why is this everybody nowadays? Like, these are all these kids of nowadays, like everybody now, if you're like, oh, I want to drink some bleach, they're like, me too. So that's basically what this movie is, and he wants to die. So basically he hires this man to kill him, and through a crazy series of events, all this stuff happens, and basically he ends up not wanting to die anymore because he finds a girlfriend, and she's like promises to publish his book, and finally he finds the will to live through having wanted to die this whole movie. And it's just a really good, really sweet movie, and I love it, so you should definitely see that.
Why do you want to die? Is it terminal illness, money problems?
Do you ever wonder, what's the point?
Frequently.
What's the point of me? Why am I here? What am I contributing? I think that all the time. Over and over and over. And I want to switch my brain off, but it builds until it becomes unbearable. It's like my brain is on fire, like it's burning from the inside, and I want it to stop, to feel nothing. I've never talked to anyone about this. I'm already dying. Just very slowly. Life is one long terminal.
Yeah. Look, it's a very small box. I'll write cancer.
The next movie is the movie Prisoners with Jake Gyllenhaal, Paul Dano, and Terrence Howard, which I've seen a long time ago, but I always tell people to watch this movie because Prisoners is such a good movie and it was so underrated. Nobody watched it, and I was just like, the taste is non-existent because people act like they know what good movies are. Like, Prisoners is a good 12 out of 10 movie, and that is a movie that a lot of people should watch because it's just so good. Basically, Terrence Howard, Hugh Jackman's in it too. Why did I forget that? I love Hugh Jackman. So anyways, basically Terrence Howard and Hugh Jackman, their daughters go missing, and Jake Gyllenhaal is the detective basically in charge of finding their daughters, and all this crazy stuff happens, and they think Paul Dano did it, but he actually didn't. And I'll leave it in the air for everybody who has never seen this to know, like, who did it, because otherwise I'll be spoiling it. So that's why, yeah. And Prisoners is a really good movie, so you should see that.
Shit, man, this ain't right. I mean, what if you're wrong?
I'm not wrong.
What if you're wrong? What if you only heard what you wanted to hear? What if... Man, I want my daughter back as much as you do, but
Frank!
it ain't right.
Frank! We heard him until he talks, or they're gonna die.
This ain't...
No. No. We heard him until he talks, or they're gonna die.
The next movie is a Edgar Ramirez and Robert De Niro movie. It is Hands of Stone, which is a really good movie. In it, he plays Roberto Duran, and it's basically just his little life story, and it's a really good movie. It's a boxing movie. It's kind of like how every typical boxing movie is, but I really like it. I think it's really cute, and his wife is played by this one girl, I forget, but she is cute too, so it's a really good movie, and you should see it. That's why Hands of Stone is in there, which is from 2016, I believe.
Hi! Hi, they're insured, so you can destroy them if you want. No matter what, you're going to do the fight. You want me to call the police?
Yeah, call the police. Put me in jail and you lose your fucking $8 million.
Buena, Cholo. Now you understand. It's a business.
I'm not a hooker.
A hooker is cheaper and it doesn't create this much problem.
The next movie is the movie Pele, which is a movie, and it's the movie of his life and how he got into soccer, what happened to his dad, how he ended up being, you know, a big 1-on-1 soccer player, and yeah, it's a good movie. It's actually just a biography, but it's a really good movie.
My head is not right.
Your head?
My whole life, all I ever wanted was to be European. Since we've got here, I've realized that I'm Brazilian. And always will be. That day back in Bauru, we showed everyone that part of us, the Ginga, was beautiful. That's what we need now.
So the next movie is The Black Death, which is another Eddie Redmayne movie. I believe Sean Bean is in this movie. I believe he is. I can't remember 1000%, but I'm pretty sure he is. So anyways, The Black Death is basically a movie where everybody catches the Black Plague, and Eddie Redmayne is playing like this monk who was uncorrupted but eventually becomes corrupted in the movie, and it's a really good movie, and yeah. So anyways.
Even if you survive, the world out there would change you.
Perhaps that's what I want, Father.
The next movie is what's called Bastille Day here, but I believe it's called something else in every other country, but I forget what it's called in the other country. But anywho's, it's an Idris Elba and Richard Madden movie, and I thought it was good. Like, even though nobody liked it, I'm like, rude. It was a really good movie, so. That's why that's in there. The next movie is another Anirban Bernard movie, which is Citadel, which I think is a really good movie. So basically, he plays this man who ends up getting traumatized, and he can't really go outside because his wife was attacked, and it left him with like this remaining leftover fear, and it basically just deals with anxiety and how people with anxiety feel. And it's he's supposed to have agoraphobia, but it's like extreme levels of anxiety. And I was like, this is a movie character that I relate to, and I don't know how better to explain how me this is, but I'm just like, oh my god. So anywho's, Citadel is a really good movie, and you should see that movie. The next movie is another Irene Bernard movie, which is The Facility, which reminds me kind of a movie that's a Mark Ruffalo movie called Blindness, because it's Mark Ruffalo and Julianne Moore, I believe. I believe it's her. If it's not, then oh well. But anyways, they were in this movie called Blindness, and this movie, The Facility, kind of reminds me of that, though The Facility is from 2012 and The Blindness is from 2008. But basically, these people end up in this mental hospital, and well, they're not in the Blindness. They're in a mental hospital, I think. I don't think they are, but they're in a hospital. So basically, both movies take place in hospitals, and all this crazy stuff happens, and the people have to get out of the hospital. But of course, in every movie ever, because these are like not really complete horror, but like psychological thriller movies. So of course, nothing ever goes how you think it's gonna go, and basically they can't get out. So yeah, that's why I'm just gonna rope them in. The Facility and The Blindness are two good movies, and you should see those. Yeah, so I think that's it. If I remember any more, I'll put them in the description. But yeah, those are my favorite movies from the last 10 decades. And that was this part 2. So I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.